Hello my friends, and I'm back again after the long break. Let me present my today's review, which is devoted to the great big phone Xiaomi RedMi Note. A couple of words about the technical specs of this phone. This is 5.5 inches phone, which is big. It's like phablet. Rather than phone. The resolution is comparatively low for today. It's HD resolution 1280 by 720 pixels. Also, this phone has two cameras. The frontal camera is 5 megapixels and the back camera is 13 megapixels with flash. It has 2 gigabytes of random access memory in this version, which I am going to test now. It has 8 gigabytes of flash memory integrated, and it supports also the flash card up to 64 gigabytes. Also, this phone has 3200 milliamperes battery, which is very good. It's based on the octa-core MTK6592 processor, 1.7 GHz, and it's also rather powerful. The other technical specs a bit later. So first let's take a look at the box. It's made of recycled paper and it's rather plain, but at the same time it's very hard. It's tested to be able to carry the weight up to 100 kilograms and more, which protects the phone very well. There is only the logo of Xiaomi Mi on the frontal. On the back of this box there is a small list of technical specs, which includes 5.5 inches HD IPS screen, 5 megapixels BSI frontal camera, 13 megapixels BSI back camera with autofocus and flash, 3200 milliamperes battery, Android 4.2.2 based MIUI firmware. It supports 3G. There are two versions. One of them supports only TD-CDMA. It's a Chinese variant of 3G. And this one supports WCDMA 900 MHz and 2100 MHz. Of course, it supports all the frequencies of GSM, which includes 850, 900, 109,000 and 108,000 MHz. So it will work in any country. Also it supports GPS, AGPS, Bluetooth 3.0 high speed, Bluetooth 4.0, and so on. Also it supports the OTG function, which is good, so you may connect the flash drive or keyboard or mouse to this phone directly. Also there is a small sticker. You may remove this sign and there will be special code which you can check at this site to define if this phone is original Xiaomi or it is fake. This one is of course the original Xiaomi phone. Okay, let's take a look inside this box. Nothing very special here, of course. This phone is comparatively budgetary phone. So it only includes the data cable, the special adapter, and the charger, Xiaomi original charger. It's 5 volts and 2 amperes, so it's rather powerful because the battery is rather powerful, 3200 milliamperes, so the charger is also powerful. And there is some documentation here. You may take a look. It's like a warranty card, everything here in Chinese, and some manual for MIUI firmware, also completely in Chinese. So these phones are directed on Chinese market, but because of their high quality and very interesting and convenient firmware, it's an Android-based MIUI. They are very popular worldwide, including the United States, Europe, Russia, Ukraine, and so on. And now let's take a look at the phone itself. So on the back panel, what we see, it's a two colors phone. The frontal panel is black and the back panel is white. It's removable, so you may choose several different variants of colors, including the black, red, green, and so on and so on and so on. There is a logo again, MI. Here is the main speaker. Here is the flash, and here is the main 13 megapixels back camera. It has rather good quality, this camera. It's not the best camera among those I tested, but still the quality is very good and quite satisfactory, at least. On the bottom edge there is an micro USB, which supports charging, which supports data transfer, and which supports also the OTG function, so you may connect different devices like flash drives, different kinds of memory cards, mouses, keyboards, HDD drives, and so on. Here is the main microphone. On the right panel, here is the power button and volume up and down rocker. Nothing here, and standard 3.5mm plug for the microphone and headphones. And here is a secondary microphone, which is used for noise reduction function, and it also may be used for the video stereo sound recording. On the frontal panel, there is a secondary 5 megapixels frontal camera. There is a secondary speaker, and you won't be able to see it right now, but there are a couple of sensors situated here. It's a proximity sensor and light sensor, and here there is a notification LED, which is interesting because it supports 7 colors. So there are 3 different LEDs, green, red and blue, and this LED supports up to 7 colors. You may define these colors in the settings. And there are 3 buttons, sensor buttons. It's home, back and menu. And unlike in the previously tested Xiaomi RedMi first generation, these buttons are illuminated, so they have the back illumination. Now let's take a look inside. A little drawback of this phone: there is no gap between the back panel and the phone itself, so it's not always convenient to remove this back panel. So what we see here is a big and heavy 3200 mAh battery, 2 ordinary mini SIM card slots, so both slots support mini SIM cards. You may use adapters to adopt the micro SIM or nano SIM, and there is a slot for memory card. It supports up to 64 GB, but maybe even more. The build quality is very good in this phone. It has the metal frame, and like any other Xiaomi phones, the build quality is completely perfect. This phone is made on Jinshan, on Foxconn factories. It's the same factory which produces the iPhones, iPads and other popular devices. So the build quality is absolutely perfect, no problems at all here. The general look of this phone is rather plain, but personally I like it. So now it's time to turn it on. First, a couple of words about the screen. Again, it's 5.5 inches screen. You can see a rather big frame. It's not so narrow. It's about up to 5 millimeters from the left and from the right. But still, the screen is big and it's very convenient. It's an HD screen, so the resolution is 1280 by 720 pixels, and the pixels density is 267 pixels per inch, which is not such a high pixels density actually, but it's quite convenient, I should say, so you won't be able to see the pixels unless you will be very careful. So the pixels density is quite satisfactory for me, no problems here. It's not OGS one glass solution screen, but it's made on the very similar technology, full lamination technology, so there is virtually no gap between the touch screen and the screen itself, and the quality of the screen is very high. The viewing angles are quite good. Actually, they are perfect, no problems at all. It's an last generation IPS screen, so absolutely no problems here. The range of brightness is very high again. The maximum brightness is about 4000 candles, and the minimum brightness is very close to zero. So using the program's record dim, you may lower it virtually to zero. You can see the maximum brightness is quite good, so no problems with it at all. Now let's take a look at the settings of this phone. Again, I should repeat, it's based on the MIUI. It's an Android-based firmware. It's a Chinese firmware, but it's very popular because it's really convenient, and there are some specific features which make it very popular among different users, not only inside China but also outside China, in the USA, Europe and other countries. So you can see there are similar to standard Android settings, but there are also some extensions, like you may enable the airplane mode directly. There is a SIM management. This phone supports 2 SIM cards at the same time, so you may use them both at the same time in the waiting mode. Dual SIM card, dual standby. It has only one radio module. Mobile network, Wi-Fi. Let's turn it on. You can see it. Bluetooth. This phone supports Bluetooth 3.0 high speed and Bluetooth 4.0. Some other settings, display settings. You may set the brightness, maybe also automatic brightness. Because this phone supports the light sensor, and you may set it manually, of course. Different kinds of for wallpapers, for home screen, for lock screen and other wallpapers. Screensaver, you may turn it on and off. You may choose a default launcher. I use the Nova launcher in this phone. The system launcher has no programs menu, and I'm not sure I like it, so because of this I usually use the Nova launcher even on the MIUI based phones. But still this firmware is good, and by the way you may see the backlight of the sensor button right now. You may choose the font size. You may turn it on and off the text optimization. You may turn it on and off the auto rotation of the screen, the sleep, let it be 5 minutes, the prevention of pocket deals based on the proximity sensor, and so on. Sound settings, also different kinds of settings. You can see it. You may turn it on the silent mode, the different kinds of ringtone, turn it on and off the vibration, and so on. This is what is interesting. You may choose the notification settings. For instance, you may enable and disable the notifications of the separate programs, which is very convenient here, for instance, in the bar. Security. You can see it. Location services. You may enable the access to my location, the Wi-Fi and mobile network, and the GPS satellites. Don't disturb settings, which is specific to the MIUI firmware. It's Mi Cloud, again specific to the MIUI firmware. The Google accounts, Skype accounts, and you may add some different kinds of accounts also. The battery. And by the way, you can use the CPU power saving mode. You can choose the type of battery indicator, including the percentage indicator. The storage. You can see the phone storage 6.3 GB available, and the SD memory card is installed, 31.38 GB available. Buttons. You may choose the activity for all these sensor buttons. The notification light. You can see you can choose the different colors, 7 total colors. As you can see, for different kinds of notification. The headphones. You may assign buttons and choose the volume level. And the ordinary Android settings. Android settings. I currently use the firmware which only includes 5 languages, but there are many different kinds of firmware for this phone, including the multi-language variants of ordinary Android AOCP, including the multi-language MIUI, including the Lova OS and different kinds of operation systems. So this phone is very popular, so there are many different kinds of firmware. And you can see this phone is called HM Note 1W. Device name is Redmi, Android version is 4.2.2, and the CPU is octa-core 1.7 GHz, and it's a real octa-core CPU, Cortex A7 based CPU. The frequency of each of 8 cores is almost 1.7 GHz, and all of these 8 cores may work simultaneously at the same time. The amount of random access memory is 2.0 GB, and internal memory is 8 GB. So you can see it. Now let's check the sensors of this phone. You can see this phone has the accelerometer sensor, the gravity sensor, the linear acceleration sensor, the gyroscope, the light sensors, magnetic field sensors, which is the same, the magnetic compass sensor, the orientation sensor, the proximity sensor, and the battery status sensor. It supports the voltage and the temperature of the battery, actually. So there are all the necessary sensors in this phone, no problems at all here. Also, what I should say, GPS works very well. This phone doesn't support the GLONASS satellite system, it only supports GPS, but the antenna is quite good, so absolutely no problems with this. GPS navigation works very well. A couple of words about battery. It's 3200 mAh, so the capacity is more than just good. And the battery life is also very good, I should say. It's about 5 hours of 3D gaming at least, and 10 to 15 hours of ordinary use. If you watch the video, for instance, it's about 10 hours, about 7 to 8 hours of YouTube, and up to 15 hours of book reading, for instance, in airplane mode. So the battery life of this phone, absolutely no problems, I like it very well. The sound is quite average, I should say. Phone speaker is quite good, absolutely no problems. The main speaker is average. It's loud enough, but the quality is average, nothing very special, I should say. The cameras, both cameras are quite good. The frontal camera is 5 megapixels and it works quite well, absolutely no problem. The back camera is 13 megapixels with flash, LED flash and autofocus, so again no problems at all here. Also it supports the LED indicator, which is situated here. So now let's check the performance. You can see it's quite fast, no problems at all, because this phone is based on the powerful octa-core CPU. It has 2 GB of random access memory. You can see 838 MB out of 2 GB are available at this time. So no problems with this at all. You can see the performance is quite good. Some specific features of the new firmware. By the way, these Xiaomi phones are so popular that there are dozens of different accessories for them. For instance, the different kinds of cases, like these bumper cases, different kinds. You can see it. And there are also many different accessories made by Xiaomi, compatible with different kinds of Xiaomi hardware, with different phones and with Xiaomi tablets. I have several of them now. Also I now have such accessory like these Xiaomi Piston Gold headphones. They are completely compatible with RedMi Note, of course, and you may use it also with any other phones, tablets and any other devices using this audio adapter. They come with different earplugs, you can see it. The quality of these headphones is very high. Also there is an interesting device like Xiaomi Mi Key, so called. It's very small. You can see it. It's an additional key actually, which may be installed into standard 3.5mm slot. And I also have such interesting device as Xiaomi power bank. Now it's a 10,400 milliamperes power bank made by Xiaomi. Of course, it's very high quality, and it may be used not only with Xiaomi phones and tablets, but also of course with any other devices. And ordinary phone may be charged at least 5 times from this Xiaomi power bank, and such phone as Xiaomi Note may be charged about 3 times from one charge of Xiaomi power bank. And now it's time to test the performance of this phone in different tasks. Let's start with the browser. I usually use Opera, but you may also use different browsers, of course. Traditionally, let's test the BBC News site. It's a desktop version of this site, you can see it, and the performance is perfectly fluent, of course. Even the desktop version of this site works very well, very fluently, because actually of this very powerful 8-core processor. It's 1.7 GHz, 8 cores, real 8 cores processor, and 2 GB of random access memory, of course. The performance here will be very high and very good. Now let's test the YouTube. Of course, this phone supports any YouTube videos. It plays fluently any videos up to Full HD, so no problems here at all. Let's try to test it. As you can see, no problems here. Everything works perfectly. Now let's continue, and let's try to test the Google Maps. It works perfectly fluent. I now have 100 megabits internet, so of course, again with such a powerful CPU, 8 cores, it works very well, what I should say. So no problems at all, as you can see. you can use this phone as navigator without any problems. Now let's test the large PDF file. I specially downloaded such a nice PDF magazine. It's about 76 pages. You can see a lot of pictures, a lot of illustration, a lot of text, and you can see it works like a charm very well. Absolutely no problem. You can use this phone to read the PDF files. Very good. You can see it very well. Now let's test the touch screen. The touch screen in this phone is again very good. It supports up to 10 simultaneous touches. You can see it. So it's 10 points touch screen, and it works very good. Absolutely no problems. Let's take a look at the system info of the AnTuTu tester. You can see it. Absolutely no problems. The touchscreen works very well. I like it very much. You can see it. Now let's take a look at the system information in CPU-Z. You can see the CPU architecture is ARM Cortex-A7 and the number of cores is 8, and the minimum frequency is 728 MHz, but you can see almost all cores are usually stopped. If they are not used, they are simply stopped, so they don't consume the energy. And the maximum frequency is a bit lower than 1.7 GHz, it's actually 1664 MHz per core. The GPU here is a Melee 450 MP. Actually, it's a Melee 450 MP4 quad-core GPU. The maximum frequency is very high here. It's 700 MHz. So, considering it's quad-core, the maximum rendering speed is about 2.8 gigapixels per second, which is quite good for the mobile system actually. You can see some system information here. The battery. Again, this phone uses a modern battery with a maximum voltage 4.35 volts compared to 4.2 volts in older batteries. The temperature of the battery is at the moment 33 degrees Celsius. The technology is the lithium-ion polymer battery. The sensors, again, you can see it. Also, let's take a look at the security settings, which are specific to the MIUI firmware. There are many interesting features like the integrated cleaner. You can see it. You may scan and remove the obsolete and advertisement files. Also, there is a special data usage program. There is a block list, so you may choose the numbers to block the messages and incoming calls, which is also very nice. The power, you can see it. The integrated antivirus and the permissions manager, which is the most interesting thing here. Usually in MIUI firmwares you may enable and disable the root permissions, as you can see. So the root may be disabled and enabled directly in the firmware without any serious problems. I like it very well. Now the Wi-Fi. You can see the signal level at the moment is about -38, -42 dBm. It's not the best result, I should say, but it's a good result. I had absolutely no problems with Wi-Fi in this phone. It works quite well, it's stable, and the signal level is high in all conditions. You can see it, so no problems at all. And let's test the internet radio in TuneIn. You can see the maximum volume is quite high. So the radio works quite well, no problems here at all. And now it's time to test the performance. Let's traditionally start with the AnTuTu benchmark. And you can see the result. It's 27,400 points. Let's take a look at the details. You can see the multitasking is 4,567 points, the runtime 1,999 points, the RAM operation is 3,080 points, the RAM speed is 1,018 points, and all the other results are also quite good. And you can see the conclusions made by AnTuTu benchmark. The CPU speed is good, it supports large apps and multitasking. The RAM speed is excellent, the two-dimensional graphics speed is excellent, and the three-dimensional graphics speed is good. It fluently supports most of the games. So the performance is quite good. And again, considering the price of this phone, it should be considered even better. What I should say, I wasn't very happy about this CPU, this specific CPU, MTK6592, because it contains 8 CPU cores with rather high frequency, 1.7 GHz, and it's still based on the rather obsolete 28 nanometers technical process. So I thought it will have the high power consumption and maybe not so high performance, but I should say the idea of MediaTek wasn't very bad. The power consumption is of course higher than for the previous processors, like for instance MTK6589 or MTK6582, but it's still rather adequate. So I should say the performance is good, and the actually power consumption is still rather good. Let's take a look at the results of the quadrant, and you can see it, 13,971. Sometimes I get even higher results, up to 16,000 points, but anyways the result is very high. You can see this is the result of RedMi Note, and the results of all the other devices. Again, this test is a bit obsolete, but they're at least 3 times lower than for the Redmi Note. Now let's test the volume. I already have the results. The metal score is 824 points, and it's between the Motorola Droid Razr, higher than the Samsung Galaxy S3, and a bit lower than the Galaxy Nexus 7. Multi-course rating speed is 1480 points, and this is a really good result. It's higher result than for the Samsung Galaxy S4 and higher results than for the Asus Nexus 7, and just a little bit lower than Galaxy S5 and LG Nexus 5. So you can see this is the result, and it's very high. For the browser speed, I only tested the standard browser. Unfortunately, I couldn't receive the result of the Opera. The result is average here, but I should say the real performance, you could see it, it's very good. And now let's run the three-dimensional tests. First is 3D Mark. As you remember, the Antutu benchmark shows the three-dimensional graphics speed is good, and actually it's true. It's not the perfect scores, it's not the fastest phone in terms of three-dimensional graphics. You can see the results of Ice Storm in normal mode, it's about 6000 points, Ice Storm Unlimited again about 6000 points, and Ice Storm Extreme in Full HD resolution, it's 4000 points. It's somewhat lower results than for Snapdragon 600, and of course it's lower than for the Snapdragon 800. It's lower than, for instance, for this device, by the way. I'd like to show you this device. It's actually the latest T-Class X98 3G, based, as you can see, on the Intel, on the latest third generation Intel Atom. It's a quad-core 1.86 GHz CPU, which is very powerful. I'm going to test this device very soon. And this device, it has the integrated Intel graphics, the real Intel graphics, which supports even the DirectX 11, and it's much more powerful, but the Melee 450 MP4 integrated in this device is also quite good. I should say the performance is good, and the performance in real games, I should say it's better than for the Snapdragon 600s. I don't know why, but this phone is faster than, for instance, ZTE Z5S Mini based on Snapdragon 600s with the same screen resolution. Okay, let's continue. And the next test will be the Basemark X 1.1. Let's see the results. 7096 points. Again, it's a good result, but it's not the fastest phone out of phones. The Snapdragon 600 shows better results, Snapdragon 800 and the latest systems and chips also shows considerably higher results in this test. Next, let's see the Epic Citadel. I'll test it in high quality mode. Unfortunately, this GPU doesn't support the ultra high quality. You can see it only supports high performance and high quality. It's no time to test the high performance mode, and there is no reason to test it because in high quality mode it actually shows almost the maximum possible result, about 60 frames per second. But let's test it in high quality mode. By the way, this test is based on the Unreal Engine, and I also have one game based on the same Unreal Engine. I'll show it to you a little bit later. So you can see it runs very fluently, and the level of graphics is also very high. It looks very nice, and the performance, as you can see, is very good. Let's take a look at the final result. And you can see it's 57.1 frame per second in high quality mode, which is almost maximum possible result, because the maximum possible result is 60 frames per second. Again, in this test, Snapdragon 600, it supports ultra high quality mode, and its results is even a little bit higher, and still the result of this GPU is very good, I should say. 57.1 frames per second. And let's test the GFX bench. Here is the results of GFX benchmark. As you can see, 13.5 frames per second in T-Rex, 9.9 frames per second in T-Rex off-screen, and all the other results. Especially good result you can see in field test. It's 2.6 actually gigatexels per second, which is very good result. So that's it. So as you can see, the results of the performance tests are good, maybe not perfect, they are not the highest possible results, but the results are very good. And what I should say, the results in real-life applications, in real-life games, are usually even higher than the results of the synthetic tests. So in real life, this phone is very fast, and it's quite satisfactory, it's quite convenient to use. And now it is time to test some three-dimensional graphics, some games. Maybe let's start with a simple game like Angry Birds. It's the only two-dimensional game in our test. It's very simple for the modern devices, and of course it will be very fast, very fluent. As you can see, it's perfectly fluent, at least 60 frames per second, no problems at all, absolutely. And let's continue with the three-dimensional games. Now let's run the horn. This game is interesting because it's based on the Unreal Engine.
Hello? Is anybody here? The headphone is connected. An alarm sounded like a stone being choked to death. Enough of your nonsense. I will undo the Pygon curse, and you will help me. Why would I help you? Because if you do not, I will find a deep, dark hole and chuck you in it, where no one will ever find you. You wouldn't. If you're no use to me, why wouldn't I? Very well. Your goal is to find the true source of Pygon power. As it happens, that source is the very thing that can inflame your body. So, I will help you find it.
You can see there is minor problem with the picture quality in this game. Sometimes textures are missed, but generally the picture quality is very good, as you can see, and the performance is very good also. So again, this game is quite playable. So not only the tests like Epic Citadel runs fluently, but also the real games based on this engine also run fluently, as you can see. It's game, the same game as we had on the personal computer, the Bard's Tale with the higher graphics settings, like in this case. This game is about 3.5 gigabytes, so you can see it's really heavy. High resolution textures in this game, and as you can see, it runs very fluently. The performance is very good in this game. The Beach Buggy Blitz also runs very well. The Prince of Persia is perfectly fluent, as you can see. The last game is the Minion Rush. This game is rather heavy and usually it has a comparatively low performance, maybe because of the powerful CPU in this phone. It works quite well, as you can see. The performance is very good, I should say, for this game it's really good. Okay, so that's enough for games, and now let's make some conclusions about this phone. So as you can see, the performance is quite good, and let's start with the negative sides. First, this phone is rather heavy. Of course, it has 5.5 inches screen, and it's almost 200 grams of mass, so it's rather heavy. Maybe you won't like it. Also, it's maybe not so much beautiful, it's rather plain by its design, but personally I like it in this respect. Also, maybe the screen resolution is comparatively low. It's not a full HD but only HD screen, 1280 by 720 pixels. But I should say it's quite enough for such 5.5 inches screen. The pixels density is rather high, it's 267 ppi, so no problems here for me personally at all. Also, it's rather hard to remove the back panel, the battery cover in this phone, so maybe it's also a minor problem. In all the other respects, I should say, especially for the price, it's only about $200. This phone is very good. I personally like the screen. It's IPS, almost OGS screen. The colors are quite nice, the brightness, the contrast, in all cases it's very good. The performance is very good. It's based on the 8-core fast processor. It's real octa-core processor. It has 2 GB of random access memory. It supports 2 SIM cards. It supports 3G. It supports Bluetooth, including the Bluetooth 4.0. It supports Wi-Fi, of course. It supports the GPS and AGPS. It has 2 good quality cameras. Frontal camera is 5 megapixels BSI camera, and the back camera is 13 megapixels BSI camera with autofocus and flash. So both of them are quite good. It has a good touch screen. It supports 10 simultaneous touches, and its quality is very good. It has all the necessary sensors, including the magnetic sensors, gyroscope, the G sensor, light sensor, proximity sensor, and so on. It has an indication LED which supports 7 color. It has the backlighted sensors buttons. It has a very good battery, 3.2 amperes, 3.7 volts battery. It's modern battery which supports the charging up to 4.35 volts. So the battery life is also very good. So if you like such a big phone, it's 5.5 inches. You can see how it looks in my hand. It's quite convenient for me personally. So if you like it, and if especially you like the MIUI original firmware which is installed on this phone, so you should like this phone very well, especially considering its price. It's about only $200, considering a lot of different accessories, including the native accessories like the different kinds of cases, different kinds of headphones, power banks, and much more. So personally I like this phone. I use it as my main phone at the moment, and I recommend it to anyone. So if you want such phone with such a big screen and considerably comparatively inexpensive phone, so it's maybe the best choice. Very good quality phone. And now maybe let me introduce my next review. I hope it will be much sooner than my previous review. So it should be devoted to the tablet. It's a very interesting tablet. This is it. And this is the T-Clasp X98 3G. This tablet is interesting because it's based on the latest Intel processor. It's Intel Atom Z3735D. It's a quad-core, real quad-core processor, 1.86 GHz, and it's really powerful. It also has a powerful GPU on board. And also this tablet is interesting because of several reasons. It has a Retina screen, 9.7 inches, with the same resolution as the latest iPads. It has 2 GB of random access memory. It has 32 GB of flash memory. It supports memory cards. It supports the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. It supports the GPS. And also it supports the GLONASS, and it even supports 3G. It has a slot, as you can see, for SIM cards. And the most interesting thing about the tablet is that it even supports Windows 8. Really, it's a real Intel processor. It supports 64 bits instructions, and there is a Windows 8 specially designed for this tablet. People installed it in reality and use it in this tablet for about $250. It's true. So this is a very interesting tablet, and I hope to review it soon. And that's it for today. Thank you for attention, and hope to see you soon again. Goodbye.